everybody. So today we're going to have a hop breakdown on Pin Hopper IPA from Middle Coast Brewing Company. Now I'm not going to go over so much the beer. If you haven't seen the full review of the beer at the end, I will link it over here, I believe. But this one is a dry hopped. I don't with Mosaic, Trident, Chinook, and Cascade hops. They're calling this a Midwest India Pale Ale. 70 or 67 IBUs, 6.5% ABV. Now this is Best by 223, 2024, if that even matters. But so I almost wish I had the malts or the grains that were going in here. Midwest, what I was thinking before I looked at it on Untapped is Chinook and Cascade must be used from Michigan. So, and that is the case. Looking at Untapped in the style guidelines, they do say that the Chinook and Cascade are grown in Michigan. Does that really matter? I'm going to say yes. I believe Chinook or almost any hop that's grown in Michigan is going to have a little bit more spice in it. I do grow Chinook and Cascade hops. I do believe they're spicier. I've talked to other people. They feel the same way. So at least for Chinook, Cascade, and Centennial, I think there's a little bit more spice in there. And so because Chinook is spicy, it's just upping it. So we'll kind of go in order. So what I do on my phone, I go into Google, I put in Mosaic hop profile, I go down to what is the profile, and that's what I'm going by. So if you look this up, you can do the same thing. If you go to 5 different sites, you might see a little difference. So I'm just using what's on Google. Mosaic is the first one, so let me go back to that one. So what is the profile Mosaic? Berries, tropical fruit, and citrus notes. Now if we smell this, now that I'm smelling this, maybe a touch of passion fruit. So I could see the tropical fruit. There's a little dankness in there, and we'll have to check the other hops. I don't know if it's just because it's settled down that I'm smelling a little different in here, but I get a little dank passion fruit now. Okay, I'll give tropical fruit to that. I really don't get berries in here, and I really don't get citrus, but for the most part, I believe almost every single hop's going to give off some kind of fruit citrus. So I'm not saying citrus because it's not sticking out like anything. So the next one I believe was Trident. So if I go there, so fruity, citrusy, tropical passion fruit. So that passion fruit, tropical, fruity, yeah, it could be that passion fruit. And just a little bit more playing off of that. So the next one is Chinook. So Chinook, spicy and piney characters. As I was reading the comments on Untapped, some people said West Coast style. I don't really get that. If anything, like a light caramel toffee malt is what I get. I think maybe the sweetness is covering up the pininess or the spice. I was getting a lot more spice after I first poured it. Not as much now, just a little bit, but not as much as I did. And then the last one is Cascade. So Cascade hops, pine, citrus, and floral. I did get like a floral, herby, dirt, ground, something like that. And it could be from that. Usually I don't get that from at least my Cascade hops, but I do get it in this. Yeah, there's a little floral, herbal earthiness in there. But I think, at least in the smell, that maltiness is covering stuff up. I'm not sure why they went with that grain bill. on here. I don't know if the brewer likes more malty beers or what it is. But there was another one, a New England IPA, that kind of, if I remember right, had the same color, but it was a New England IPA. But I don't remember Hopfish being like that. But yeah, so for the most part, for the hops in there, I do get some of each one. I think that passion fruit, now that it's sat and I've looked at those um, profiles, I do think that that passion fruit fruitiness is coming in more in the smell. For the taste, I guess you could say pine. I think there's like, it's more like of a rye spice. Like they used rye grain, rye malt in here. So I think that Chinook Cascade is really bringing a lot of spice, especially to the up front of the palate. When it goes back, I still get that little floral earthiness in there. You could say a little citrus zest that's in there. I guess some people could say pine, um, but for the most part, yeah, I think it turned out well. I just wish that crystal malts were out, but that's just me. But if you enjoyed this review, check some more out over here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. And until next time, cheers.